If he's already moving too sideways, I'll rather go to the collar or to his arm, because I can always switch directions. If I feel it's a little flatter, I'll always go back to what you did before. Have you on the shoulder and passing the same way. My name is Professor Vinicius Magalhaes. My nickname is Draculino. I'm the head instructor and owner of Gracie Barra Texas, and part owner of Gracie Barra Pearland in Texas too, and I'm the regional director of Gracie Barra in Texas. For now, we have already 18 schools in the state of Texas, and also I'm a 5th-degree black belt under Carlos Gracie Jr. Olympia, I nicknamed her Casca Grossa. Casca Grossa is kind of like a slang in Brazil that means like tough person, tough cookie, let's say like that. She began to train here coming from the Valley. She used to be a student of my student, Professor Tyler Bossart, down in Brownsville. And she moved to Houston to work with some other students of mine, Professor Pedro Caballero, Professor Kristen Summers, and she was a blue belt, early blue belt, if I'm not mistaken. And this was, I don't know, maybe a good like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And she's still here, doing strong, doing great. As always, she's a great asset to the school, and I'm really proud to have her as a student. Even though there's more and more females training Jiu-Jitsu, it's naturally a little tougher for a woman to excel in Jiu-Jitsu. And why do I say that? First, because a lot of people, a lot of gyms, not here, still have that mentality of either taking too easy on a girl or even giving them a hard time to make sure that they they can have it or whatever. You know what I mean? So that it's not the case here. But it's naturally tougher for a woman, and also that's the physicality. Normally, the woman is not as strong physically as a man, so they really need to excel on technique, and they really need to excel as well in perseverance. A lot of times, I'm pretty sure they go home a little down. Sometimes they get like some people rough on them a little bit, and they have to have the tough mentality and also the perseverance enough to come back and train and get better. You know what I mean? So it's a little harder for women, and I really appreciate every woman that can train more sometimes, or even the same as everybody else, and get a brown belt, get a black belt. We have already a black belt here from my school since the white belt, Professor Kristen Summers. And we have also Sandy, she's a brown belt, 4 stripe, and I'm pretty sure Olympia is going to be another one, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Hi, my name is Olympia Watts. I am a brown belt under Professor Draculino, and I train at Gracie Barra Texas. I'm originally from McAllen. I started training at STC, that was the college. It was a club, it wasn't really an academy. I grew up with 3 brothers, so I was always a tomboy. And then when I saw that the college I was attending had a club, I was like, yes, and I could afford it. So I trained there for a bit, and then Gracie Barra McAllen opened up under Professor Tyler, who's a black belt under Draculino, Professor Draculino. And then from there, I just fell in love with it, and I actually would drive up here to Houston to compete. And I would sometimes come alone, sometimes come with some teammates. And then I met Kristen Summer at a tournament, and she coached me, said, hey, come and train here with Professor Draculino. And after that, I just moved up here and started training here. Well, first of all, it does humble you. I had a lot of pride in, issues with pride. And again, growing up with 3 brothers, I always wanted to be like, I'm tough. I don't want to give up. And I think it's just a challenge. I come in here and I forget about everything. I give it my all. Sometimes I don't. And it's just, for me, it's my therapy. I love everything, the challenges that it brings me, going against women, men, everybody. It's just a great thing, and I love it. Everything, I love everything about it.
Guys, here, we're gonna begin on the warm. Okay, begin on the warm control. The person on top has to pass the guard, or get back, or get the belly, whatever, have to get a dominant position and hold it for 3 seconds. The person on bottom has to sweep or submit, but the catch is you cannot close the guard. You gotta maintain your guard open no matter what. And this includes not just close guard, but locking half guard. I want you guys dynamic. I want you guys on the bottom moving around, not getting stationary at any time. Whoever wins today will pass the guard, no matter how you win. And you always start on the wall. All right? Alec, do me a favor. Choose 4 people, 4 groups in this team. Choose 4 groups in this team. All right, let me have
If you're beating somebody up, getting beat up, whatever it is, when you get out, when you step out of training, you are a better person no matter what happened that day. I feel like some of my teammates are family and they make me want to be better. I want them to be better, especially, you know, the females that I train with. It just feels you empower one another. When I started competing, I wanted to be better. I realized, oh my God, I'm just eating bad food, and you know, why am I gassing out, or why am I feeling so tired the next day in training? It was because of what I was eating the night before or not resting. And now I'm getting older and I have to rest. I have to watch what I eat, even though I do love pizza, donuts, a little bit of everything, cookies. It's just a balance, that's all it is. I just want to thank my professor, Draculino. Man, he has taught me so much. He has no idea. We all take for granted the fact that we have him here teaching. I mean, I have been in California with him, and so many people will stop and, oh, Professor Draculino, can we take a picture? Can we take a picture? And I'm like, it's just Professor, but man, he's just an encyclopedia of jiu-jitsu, and he is the true definition of a professor. He teaches us that jiu-jitsu is not just, you know, competition. It's not just self-defense. It's not just no-gi. It's not just gi. It's everything. And it's not just being a student on the mats, not just being a professor on the mats, but when you step out, you have to continue being that same person, genuine good person that you were on the mats, on the outside, because you represent a martial art. It's a beautiful martial art, and he is, like I said, he's taught me so much. I'm so grateful. And, you know, Professor Brandon also, there's been some, you know, times where I think we all go through that time where we're either, you know, want to quit, or I don't want to train anymore, or man, I lost so bad at that tournament that I don't want to train anymore. That happened to me, and I took maybe about a month off, and I was miserable. I didn't want to train. I was in a funk. And I remember I said, who can I talk to? And, you know, I can talk to Professor Draculino, and I talked to Professor Brandon, and they reminded me, they said, Olympia, why did you fall in love with jiu-jitsu? Take a break, go do something else, go do, you know, hike or something that I wanted to do. And I did, and I thought about what made me fall in love with jiu-jitsu. What is it that I come in, what is it that makes me feel good once I'm out? They both have taught me that, and my teammates have also taught me that, and I just want to say that. Thank you, Professor Draculino, thank you, Professor Brandon Mullins, all our professors here. They make me who I am now, and I absolutely love it.
So I'm really proud of my girls. They're all tough, and they all blend in perfectly in the group. Having a girl in a high level on the brown belt, again, makes me really proud, and she can do good in anywhere she goes, in competition, training, and as a representative of our school.